chillin', everything will feel the same. Feel the same. I just gotta know. How come when I pull up, I'm like, here we go again. Go again. That's why I just gotta know why we even different. Why I feel the same every time we kick it. We just can't get rid of it. Ain't no fixing. Here we go again with another lie that's told in vain. Avoid the pain, even though we need to say goodbye. I feel the same. So codependent, this hurting been open-ended. We just been hoping we ain't have to say it's over-ended. But the wound is open, let it be. You let it be, love it and set it free. But the end of you and me, I thought this new to me. But I just gotta know. How come when we chillin', everything will feel the same? Feel the same. I just gotta know. How come when I pull up, I'm like, here we go again. Go again. That's why I just gotta know. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? Yeah. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? I just gotta know. Got me in my feelings. Scared I peaked to reach the ceiling. And it's not appealing. Thoughts that I ain't trying to deal with. Cause I'm feeling like I ain't enough. And I'm terrified I'll never find another you. Never be another us. But why it took me ending us? Just get that picture up. I wish it was, but that ain't us. And that was love, but we a different us. I'm flawless. I'm not to blame for all this. I ain't trying to say that you was. I just know it's time to call it. I just gotta know. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know. Can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? Yeah. When did we change? When did all the love that we had go away? I just gotta know why we can't admit we finished. We ain't quitting, gave it all to us to give it. We done did it, I don't think that we could say it. We became the victims, lately I've been feeling like I'm losing myself. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know, can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know, can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself.
A abrupt emergency, We Are Wrestling.
I think there's a lot of issues with that company.
They're going all in for these documentaries.
I want to be champion. I want to be the one to carry that flag.
Hate being a wrestling fan and love being a wrestling fan sometimes, but realize we're all just selfish pricks.
It's business.
So when guys start getting released and stuff, I got questions that need to be asked.
We are Wrestling Extra.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. It's the best one, Donnie, here live on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel on a Monday evening. And it's been a while since we've done a We Are Wrestling podcast extra, but I will explain to you guys why we're doing this. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know the grind is real. And I know this is totally last minute. Didn't even plan this at all. Originally, I was just going to record the extra, but then I said to myself, why not? Let's just go live and let's see which We Are Wrestling Maniacs do have those post notifications turned on. Because if this ends up being well, we might as well start doing more extras. Because lately with the wrestling news, there's been a lot going on, and the podcasts have been going on pretty long, which is why I decided, you know what? Let's just do an extra this week because it has been a while. Plus, we have a very busy week when it comes to professional wrestling because this Saturday, AEW is going to be having their biggest show of the year, AEW All In, which We Are Wrestling will be doing a live watch along for. I'm not sure yet if we're going to be doing Saturday Night Main Event, but WWE will be also having shows throughout the weekend as well. NXT Great American Bash will be on at the same time as AEW All In. Then later on, we'll be having WWE Saturday Night Main Event, which I believe will be Goldberg's last match as a professional wrestler. Then on Sunday, WWE Evolution 2, which we will be doing a live watch along for. But because of these events, there's going to be lots of different content coming out this week. And with the We Are Wrestling podcast, episode 165 coming out this Wednesday, myself, Dan Eddy, and Rage have decided that since WWE is going to be having 2 shows this weekend, we're going to be doing predictions for Saturday Night Main Event and Evolution 2. And then on Thursday, myself, I'll be giving you guys my predictions for AEW All In. And yeah, we're going to try to cram all of this content together. Plus, we're going to try to give you guys a vlog, probably the Blitzkrieg Luau, this Friday. So there's a lot going on here this week in the We Are Wrestling universe. That's why I figured let's do the Xtra live so that I can give you guys the scoop and keep you guys in the loop. So there are some things I do want to talk about, some wrestling news, because we're not going to be able to really get to any of it this week here on the We Are Wrestling podcast due to the 2 predictions that we're going to be doing. And yeah, pretty much our main event topic for this week's Xtra, we're going to be talking about Tony Khan's comments not being bothered by WWE counter-programming AEW All In. And if you guys don't listen to the We Are Wrestling podcast, you guys know firsthand, I am not a fan of when promotions try to sabotage other promotions. Because as a pro wrestling content creator, I want to enjoy watching WWE. I want to enjoy watching AEW. Hell, I want to enjoy TNA, NWA, the Independents, OVW, all of these pro wrestling promotions. Because at the end of the day, that's what keeps the content rolling. And honestly, it would be boring as hell if it was just WWE. So I'm not a fan of promotions going at it. I feel like it's better for the talent when there is competition because it always brings out the best in everybody. What's going on, Dan Eddy? Hope you're doing good, man. Can't wait to see you on Wednesday. But yeah, so we're going to talk about that as our main event topic, but we do have some things we're going to talk about, like Scorpio Sky returning to AEW programming, Chavo Guerrero coming back to WWE, AJ Styles signing a 1-year contract extension, Corey Graves, people want him to be a lead commentator on either Raw or SmackDown, Isla Dawn, former WWE women's wrestler, AEW's very interested in. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about the Tony Khan thing, which if you guys want to interact, if you guys are listening or watching over on X, come over to the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. You can interact with me here in the live chat, which I know this is totally last minute. So if any of you guys are rewatching it, this gives you a reason to subscribe and turn on the post notifications. I always say videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And look at this. Just came out of nowhere like an RKO. You never know with extras. That's what I like about it. But the first thing I want to talk about is pretty much my spotlight of the week. This is something I want to do with the extras. And there's lots of wrestlers that do interviews and stuff with the media. And I kind of want to shed some positivity with this spotlight of the week. And that's what we're going to do here. This week, my spotlight of the week, I got to go with Kenny Omega talks varieties now on the AEW roster and in pro wrestling, calling WWE working with AEW with AAA great to see. And here's what Kenny Omega said. We have a complete card, which I think is the most exciting part of our show and programming right now. We have a lot of young guys that can do incredible things. We have some bigger dudes on our roster too, which I think we sort of had a lack of. But now we have the Bobby Lashleys, the Powerhouse Hobbs, the Samoa Joes. So we have those box ticked. Of course, we have the Will Ospreays, the Swerves, and the Hangmans that are just their physical peak right now. Takeshita, of course, another one. And now we're implementing lots of luchador styles as well. So I feel like AEW has really become, and even now with AAA working with WWE, they're introducing a little more lucha libre to their stuff as well, too, which I think is great to see. In a perfect world, I would also love to show the anything can happen when you're live. You can botch various styles of professional wrestling so people can develop an appreciation for it. So Kenny Omega pretty much put over WWE and AAA, and that's why I had to make it my spotlight of the week, because I hate tribalism, and it's good to hear somebody from AEW praising something that WWE has done. And I feel like AEW, a lot of the stars are getting so much better now with media, and wait till we get to our main event here with Tony Khan. What's going on, Destry? Hope you're doing good, man. But yeah, man, I think that it's great to see WWE like opening up these forbidden doors, because before Triple H was running things in TKO, under Vince, we would never get WWE in TNA. The only thing that exists in the WWE universe is WWE. So that's like one thing I really do like. But one thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to the Forbidden Door is constantly having like Ring of Honor programming on AEW. Having on NXT, having TNA programming on NXT. I feel like it's okay to have them here and there for like special occasions and stuff, but I don't know. Not the biggest fan of the Forbidden Door happening 365 days, but I do love that like these promotions are all working together, because at the end of the day, it's best for business. It's best for the larger than life superstars that are trying to get an opportunity. And that's why for me, like I love that we have all of these different promotions that we can watch. If you're not a fan of WWE, maybe you'll enjoy what TNA's doing or what AEW's doing. You don't have to be a fan of everything, but it's great to have options, different varieties. And Kenny Omega putting over WWE and AAA, I really like that. Moving on now to something that happened during AEW Collision episode 100. This past Saturday during AEW Collision 100, Scorpio Sky has returned and answered Max Caster's open challenge. And if you guys don't know, Scorpio Sky, he has been absent from AEW programming for quite a while now. And I will say, I'm actually really enjoying this run by Max Caster. I think the whole best wrestler alive gimmick is working. The crowd is interacting with him. And that's all you could ask for as a wrestler, is getting a reaction. And it seems like people are enjoying it. Even though I will say I do miss the Acclaim so much. Him and Anthony Bowens were such a great tag team. And I think AEW does need to build their tag team division back up, which I feel like will get stronger throughout the year. But right now, it definitely needs a stronger build-up, which is why I don't know why they broke up the Acclaimed. But I do like what Max Caster's doing. And honestly, great way to bring back Scorpio Sky to AEW TV. I don't like him with Top Flight, but I do like Christopher Daniels as his manager, because, of course, they were a tag team with SCU, with Kazarian, and they were even the first AEW World Tag Team Champions as well. So I like Christopher Daniels being a manager, the Scorpio Sky. But, man, Sky's got to get rid of Top Flight. I think that it'll just be better if it's him and Christopher Daniels. And Scorpio Sky, somebody who I've always been a huge fan of. I think he's a great wrestler. Don't understand why he's been away from television for so long, but I'm glad he's back. And I think if AEW wants to bring people back, this is the perfect way to do it. Have Max Caster do his open challenges. And I think what they should do during zero hour of AEW All In, I'm sure I'll say this in the predictions, but I think they need to bring back Keith Lee, because he already confirmed on Twitter that he is 100%. He's just waiting for an opportunity. And I think All In would be the best place to have Keith Lee come back to AEW in Arlington, Texas. Man, that would be great in front of 20,000 people. And then maybe we can get a Keith Lee versus Swerve feud. Keith Lee can be bitter that Swerve got all this success and he's been on the sidelines. Man, Tony Khan has a perfect opportunity here. And I think Max Caster doing an open challenge at All In, having Keith Lee answer it, that would be huge. That would be a great move, because I even said it last week on the We Are Wrestling podcast. I don't think Keith Lee should come back to WWE. That's just my opinion, because I'm already seeing a lot of these WWE to AEW, back to WWE signings, and they're not really doing anything too special. Even though they do have some big plans for Aleister Black, which I will say, very excited about that. But moving on now to our next news. Wow, it's so weird doing an extra. It's been a long freaking time. That'd be a great way to Keith Lee involved in the storyline to start. Oh, that'd be great. That's dude, Max Caster doing an open challenge is the best way to bring somebody back. That or old school vignettes. That's one thing I love. But moving on now to our next topic. According to Fightful, sources that Chavo Guerrero spoke to ahead of and around WWE/AAA's Worlds Collide claim that he is said to be back with the company in official capacity. And I will say, I like this move for a lot of reasons. I think Chavo Guerrero, he is one of the most underrated luchador wrestlers in the business. And I think with WWE and AAA having this working relationship now that WWE bought them, I think having a legend like Chavo would be a great move. And maybe they can even, when they do have WWE, like AAA shows, have Chavo Guerrero be like an on-roll, like authority figure. He could be like a general manager, or just at least have him on the program because he is already an established professional wrestling legend that the WWE audience knows. And I think that that's going to be the best way to get people to cross over and actually watch AAA, is pretty much just having Chavo Guerrero, having those familiar faces that we know. And that's a great way to get us exposed to some of these newer guys like Iguana and all these other talented stars, which is why I really like Lince Dorado, them bringing him back and having him do a lot of stuff with AAA and WWE's crossover. I think that it's just great to have established faces, because that's how you put over new faces. And I think Chavo Guerrero, he's a legend in the business, no doubt. And I think that him coming back to WWE is always a great move. Plus, I love when these legends can get back on their legend deals and I can get some new WWE action figures out of it. I'm a little selfish with it, but man, Chavo Guerrero, this is long overdue. And I would love to see him do some like little things on WWE programming. This should have happened a long time ago. Also, when he had that short stint with AEW, him as Andrade's manager, I really, really enjoyed a lot. And I was kind of disappointed when Chavo had to leave and go back to doing what he does in Los Angeles and Hollywood, doing the stunts. I was so disappointed because I love the pairing of him and Andrade. I thought that, man, with that pairing, Andrade could have definitely been a champion in AEW. But moving on now to our next topic here. According to Fightful, those close to AEW, AJ Styles claim he signed a 1-year WWE contract extension. And I will say, I'm not surprised at all by this, because it seems like WWE is actually booking AJ Styles. He's been regularly booked on TV. Right now, they're teasing a program with him and Dirty Dom. And possibly because of the tension there with the Judgment Day and Finn Balor and Dirty Dom, maybe AJ Styles will be the one to take the title off of Dominic Mysterio. And then hopefully the best thing can happen. Karrion Kross takes the title from AJ. That would be amazing. I would love to see Karrion Kross hold an Intercontinental title, which, by the way, got to give a shout out to Karrion Kross for being the number 2 shirt on WWE Shop, outselling John Cena, CM Punk, I think Jey Uso's the only one that sold him. But yeah, no, Karrion Kross outsold the larger than life stars. It's time. You need to ink him up, get him that big fat contract that he freaking deserves. But yeah, no, I do think AJ Styles, he's bound to have an Intercontinental title run. But then a part of me, because I'm a huge professional wrestling fan, I would love to see what AEW would do with him. I also would love to see AJ Styles end his career in TNA. Because, man, AJ Styles in TNA was on a whole nother level. So I would love to see AJ Styles end his career in TNA, but him signing the 1-year contract extension seems like he wants to end his career in WWE, which is fair. And it's kind of crazy to look back at. AJ Styles has worked for WWE longer than he worked for TNA, which is a crazy fact that kind of blew my mind. But congratulations to AJ Styles on getting the contract extension. I don't know. I just wish that I hope he does something with TNA before he decides to hang the boots up. That's all I ask. That's all I ask for. But moving on now to our next topic here. According to WrestleVotes, there's a strong case to get Corey Graves on the weekly main roster TV shows, regardless of who is and who is not available. While several understand the value of Pat McAfee for the company, many feel Graves is way too good and passionate to not be on the main roster commentary week in and week out. And I will say this, I love Corey Graves, but I'm not the biggest fan of his commentary work. But I will say, there needs to be somebody next in line behind Michael Cole. And if there's anybody that I can think of who is probably in the best position to be the next Michael Cole, it's Corey Graves. Will he ever get to Michael Cole status? Probably not. But he is a reliable guy. He's been doing the commentary thing for over 10 years now with the WWE due to what happened when he was in NXT, having all those concussions. He had to retire early in his career. But man, I will say this, Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, you can't break that up. You can't. But then at the same time, I can see the arguing case here. Pat McAfee, he can't be full-time because he has so many things going on with his successful podcast, his working relationship with the ESPN, college football, NFL. And I don't know, I do think Corey Graves, he is good enough to be on the weekly programs. But I love the connection that Michael Cole and Pat McAfee have. I really like what Wade Barrett's doing over on the SmackDown brand with Joe Tessitore. Joe Tessitore, super underrated in my opinion. Super underrated. He's been doing so well so far, filling in for Pat, but he should possibly stick to SmackDown or NXT while Pat and Cole handle Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I don't know. I do think he is too good to be on NXT. But then again, you have Monday Night Raw and you have Friday Night SmackDown. And I feel like the chemistry between, the commentary teams over there are good. So, Corey Graves kind of gets lost in the shuffle there a little bit. But I wouldn't break up Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. Maybe you can add Corey Graves to it. I think that's not a bad idea. But I do think that they'll definitely probably bring him up pretty soon because this is not the first time I've seen this report here. But moving on now to our last topic before we get into the thumbnail, the headliner of this week's We Are Wrestling Podcast Xtra. Wow, it's been a while since I've done this. So weird doing it by myself. But according to WrestleVotes, AEW is heavily interested in Isla Dawn. She was recently backstage at a recent AEW taping. The expectations is she'll begin working AEW shows in the very near future. I really like this signing for AEW if they actually go through with it. I never understood why they released Isla Dawn to begin. I thought her and Alba Fire were a great tag team. One of the actual original tag teams. Because that's the thing about WWE with their women's tag division. They just like to grab two random people and just pair them up randomly. Like right now, Natalya and Maxine. You see them backstage and there was no backstory behind that, which is one of my critiques. And it bothers the hell out of me. But I do think that having Isla Dawn, AEW, this could be a great move. She's a very underrated performer who I feel like hasn't really shown what she can do. And that's the thing. Alba Fire, she's right now doing stuff with Chelsea Green. But honestly, in my opinion, Isla Dawn going to AEW, this will be a great signing. Somebody they could add to their women's division. I just hope that they have plans for her because I don't want her to debut in AEW. They immediately push her for the world championship and then she gets lost in the shuffle. Kind of like what happened to Deonna Purrazzo. I don't want that to happen to her because I do think Isla Dawn definitely just needs an opportunity. And I think that AEW, I think she could be a solid signing. I'm curious to see if she will show up at AEW All In or if they do have some plans with her. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do. But now let's talk about the main event topic, why everybody is listening to this week's We Are Wrestling podcast extra, and that is this interview that Tony Khan did with WFAA, and he was asked about WWE counter-programming AEW All In Texas this weekend. And here is what Tony Khan said, and I quote, "Well, I think we're going to put on a great event, and we have to focus on putting on the best event we can with the best wrestlers in the world. So that's a lot of fun. So we're going to have a great show next Saturday afternoon. We're very focused on what AEW is doing and the AEW fans, and I think that serves us really well." And I must say, Tony Khan, this man is finally learning how to handle the media. Because, of course, AEW is the second to WWE. And, of course, AEW talent and Tony Khan himself, they are always going to get asked the same question over and over and over again. WWE this, WWE that. And for a while, Tony Khan would feed into it to give these journalists a clickbait a title that's clickbait, all this crazy crap. And Tony Khan fed into it, and it didn't help All Elite Wrestling. But now he's finally learning to keep his mouth shut and just work in silence, which is definitely a big thing I'm noticing with AEW in 2025. I will say they definitely still need to improve their television shows. I'm not the biggest fan of those, but the pay-per-views have been next level, in my opinion. I think that all the pay-per-views that they have done this year have delivered on all cylinders, all levels. And there's no doubt in my mind that AEW is going in the right direction. They just need to stay consistent. And they just need to focus on AEW, which is what I'm seeing here in this interview with Tony Khan. Hey, we got Bradley here in the chat. Extra, extra, extra. Kudos to TK. Oh, I definitely have to agree. Kudos to TK, because for a while he would feed into the bullshit that would be on Twitter. And he would also answer these questions and pretty much put over AEW, but then at the same time bury WWE, which didn't help his promotion at all. In this, he pretty much was the way he was able to counter what the interviewer said and talked about AEW really shows a lot of growth. I am very proud of TK here, because I've said it for months now. If you're new here, this is what I've been saying for months. WWE is freaking being petty here with AEW, and I'm so sick and tired of it. And wow, maybe me and Tony Khan switched bodies or something, because now I'm the one that's speaking out about it, because AEW All In was already planned way more in advance than WWE's little extravaganza weekend with a bunch of crazy things happening. Like NXT Great American Bash. Of course, WWE, or no, okay, we're going to go all the way back, because WWE Evolution is taking place this Sunday, which we will be doing a live watch along for. I hope to see you guys there. But originally, it was supposed to take place on Saturday, July 5th at Mohegan Sun, an hour away from me. And WWE decided to move Evolution to this upcoming weekend to go against AEW All In, to kind of take the attention away from AEW's biggest event of the year. And AEW makes the announcement for All In months ago. It was supposed to happen on Saturday night, but then WWE made the decision, let's have a Saturday night main event during the same time. So Saturday night main event, Goldberg's last match in Atlanta goes head-to-head with AEW All In. So then Tony Khan, I thought this was a great decision on him, while other people are kind of clowning on him. He decides, let's move AEW All In to the afternoon. Because, of course, Tony Khan doesn't want to go head-to-head with WWE, which is smart because he wants to focus on his product. And he doesn't want the fans probably, or the critics, to think that he's the one going against WWE. And I thought that this was a great move because he's kind of painting a target on WWE's back here. Because what does WWE decide to do? They could have just not booked the show. They could have just had their Saturday night main event on Saturday night. But they decided, let's have NXT Great American Bash happen in the afternoon to go head-to-head with AEW All In. See, right now, Tony Khan, guys, low-key is playing chess. Triple H and TKO are playing checkers. Because Tony Khan knew that WWE was going to counter-program them, so he decides, let's move it to the afternoon. WWE does exactly what Tony Khan knew was going to happen and have the show in the afternoon to go head-to-head with them. And WWE tries to paint it as, we're building this big weekend filled with great pro wrestling by having Great American Bash, having the Saturday night main event, and then after that, having WWE Evolution on Sunday, which, by the way, Evolution, I feel sorry for all the WWE women wrestlers right now because the ticket sales are doing garbage, which is so unfortunate. Like, they should have just kept the damn show at Mohegan on July 5th. Like, I think that they really screwed up here. And some people are even thinking that WWE is sabotaging their own all-women's pay-per-view because they don't want to have a women's all pay-per-view, which is why, because some people are even questioning, like, the last time we had Evolution was back in 2018. So now all of a sudden, because people are voicing their opinions that, like, we need to have an all-women's PLE, that some people actually believe WWE is sabotaging their own event. And it's disappointing. Like, I hate that WWE is going against AEW here because this is why I don't watch NXT weekly. This is exactly why I don't watch it weekly. What's going on, Josh Toy Show? Yeah, the ticket sales have been terrible. But the reason why I don't watch NXT is because every time AEW has a pay-per-view, NXT wants to go head-to-head with them. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to pick NXT over AEW because, let me say this, like, yes, AEW, you are paying about $40 to $50 a pay-per-view. But I feel like, in my opinion, I'm getting my money's worth out of it. And I think that the shows are far more superior than what WWE is putting together with their PLEs, which I still enjoy the WWE PLEs, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to pick NXT over AEW. And even when the Wednesday Night Wars happened, when WWE decided, let's move NXT from Tuesdays, which was doing so good, the black and gold NXT, let's have them go against AEW on Wednesdays to get some less attention on the new shiny toy. And that is exactly what they did. And it made me lose all the interest I had in black and gold NXT. And AEW ended up whooping their ass to the point where it became NXT 2.0. And now they need to work with TNA. They need to work with AAA. They need to work with all these random promotions to defeat AEW in the ratings. And I just don't like the pettiness. I want to just enjoy pro wrestling. And I feel like it's unfair for AEW fans like myself to get shit on because we actually enjoy watching something. I don't understand the tribalism. Like, if it wasn't for AEW, WWE would not have made all of these changes. And would have never got that next Netflix deal. They probably would have never gotten that TKO deal. Vince McMahon would probably still be running shit if it wasn't for AEW. And professional wrestling wouldn't be picking some momentum back up if it wasn't for AEW. And that's the thing, like, I really want to watch NXT, but I just can't because every time they have a PLE, they try to go head-to-head with AEW. And I might even miss Saturday night main event because I don't know how long AEW All In is going to be, but maybe I want to watch Goldberg's last match live, but I can't. Like, if Saturday night main event was not going against AEW All In, I probably would be doing a watch-along to it. But I have to pick AEW All In because I enjoy the AEW pay-per-views. And that's my preference. If you enjoy Saturday Night Main Event more, like, please enjoy Saturday Night Main Event more. Like, I'm not going to critique you. I'm not going to criticize like your decision, because that's the thing about us pro wrestling fans. We all have different perspectives on things. And that could even go all the way back to like just in general, everyday life. We all have different perspectives. And if we were all the same, man, this world would absolutely fucking suck. But I will say overall, like, Tony Khan did a great job here, and I hope he continues this momentum, because I think it's going to start to bring some more AEW fans back. And I do think that they need to continue to give us good, consistent television weekly. I think that they definitely still need to work on that. But I do think that there's been lots of improvements when it comes to the backstage morales and AEW focusing on AEW. They're not signing every released WWE star anymore. They're focusing on building their own established stars. They're going after former New Japan guys who are leaving. They're going after TNA guys who are leaving. And they're giving them a bigger platform to show what they can do, which I really like. And I'm actually really proud of Tony Khan here. And man, I've been one of his biggest friggin' haters when it comes to the way he handles social media and the way he just handles these interviews. And I thought he did a great job here. I love that he's focusing on just AEW, and he realizes what WWE is doing. And instead of feeding into all the interviewers and all the tweets, Tony Khan is working in silence. He's focusing on his promotion, and low-key, he is kind of setting WWE up, because I think pretty soon you're going to see a lot of people start to see what I'm seeing here, with WWE being very petty and just counter-programming and trying to friggin' create a cult here against AEW. And I think it's going to start to turn some people off of their program. And I think some of those people are going to end up going to AEW, because at the end of the day, the good guys always win. But guys, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys who are here in the live chat. We got 15 people here, which if you guys don't want to miss live content or just any We Are Wrestling content, the best thing to do is hitting that subscribe button now and turning on the post notifications. Also following us over on Facebook, Instagram, X, all the social medias, because that is the best way to stay up to date with everything that is happening. But this week is going to be a crazy week for us professional wrestling fans. And man, I think Vince McMahon's not back calling the shots, Bradley. I can tell you that right now. This is TKO trying to get more people away from AEW. TKO is basically Vince, except they're letting Triple H run things, and they're putting all the blame on him, unfortunately. Which I feel like Triple H does get a lot of shit. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash that like button now. This week is going to be a great week for us professional wrestling fans. And this Wednesday on the We Are Wrestling podcast, well, let me rewind. Tomorrow, I will be giving you guys my Monday Night Raw reactions. Wednesday, we'll be having a live episode of the We Are Wrestling podcast. It will be episode 165. Myself, Dan Eddy, and Rage are going to be giving you guys our full predictions for WWE Evolution and Saturday Night Main Event. Then on Thursday, myself, and I'm hoping to have a special guest with me, I'm going to be giving you guys my AEW All-In predictions. Then on Friday, we are going to be having the Blitzkrieg Luau vlog. I hope I finish it by then. Then on Saturday, we'll be doing a live watch-along for AEW All-In. And then on Sunday, live watch-along for WWE Evolution. That's why I wanted to make this extra, to give you guys a scoop and keep you guys in the loop. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, I hope you guys are ready for some great wrestling, because I know I am. And this week, we're going all in. So I will see you guys tomorrow with my Monday Night Raw reactions. And hopefully I see more of you guys in the live chat during our We Are Wrestling podcast episode 165. Take it easy, guys.